What up nerds, geeks, and collectors alike. Today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends 6-inch scale Avengers Endgame worthy Captain America. Here he is in a generic Marvel Legends packaging, though it is sorted out to be in a Avengers Endgame theme. Here we have the Marvel Legends logo, and at the bottom, Avengers Endgame Captain America. It is made by Hasbro. At the side of the box, we see a concept art of Chris Evans as Captain America, as well as the back with the bio. If you want to read it, here's the bio of Endgame Captain America. Moving on, we're gonna see the other side of the box, again with the concept art of Chris Evans as Captain America. Above the box, we have the Avengers A. At the bottom, we have the legal mumbo jumbo and the UPC. And yes, this is a Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends, but instead of Walmart, I got this from Hong Kong Disneyland. But before we get him out and give him some fresh air, let's take a look at him while he's in package. Here's the overall figure, his shield, his additional head. But if you take a little peek, you'll see Thor's hammer, you'll see Mjolnir in there. And then that's why this figure is dubbed as the worthy Captain America, even though that may not be the official name, but that's the name that the fandom has given this Marvel Legends, solely because he is worthy of the name, which is something that I appreciate Hasbro doing. Now let's get this guy out of his packaging. And here's Endgame Cap looking awesome and worthy in this aerial pose. He is an absolute beast. Just by looking at him, playing with him, and giving him some iconic poses, I am having flashbacks when he lifts Thor's hammer while Thanos was about to kill Thor, throw it and then call it back. That was an epic scene. A very definitive moment for his entire character arc. Just a kid from Brooklyn now wielding a power of a god. And I just gotta say, getting an on-hand look at this figure, getting an on-hand feel, it's really fun to play with. It's not a figure where you're so conscious that it might break anytime. This guy is made of tough plastic. You won't have a hard time playing with this. It gives you that feel of playability. It invites you to play with it. And let's remove the accessories. And in order to remove the shield, you have to remove his hand in order to avoid paint chipping, especially here at the fist. First and foremost, let's take a look at the actual figure itself. Let's take a deeper dive into those sculpting and painting. And as you can see, this head sculpt really looks like Chris Evans. Hasbro has been using this photoreal technology for quite some time now, and I gotta say, it really pays off. The helmet really looks great. The paint is precisely applied, as well as the wings on both sides here. And as you can see, the head and the helmet is two separate pieces. And here we have the alternative head, the unmasked Chris Evans head, and my oh my, this photoreal technology really pays off. Integrating this photoreal technology into their products was really a good move for Hasbro, especially for those collectors who are on a budget who can't afford Mezco or Hot Toys. This will suffice. This is really top tier. Hasbro has been stepping up their Marvel Legends game, and for me personally, that's a plus because I am very picky of my Marvel Legends. Let's take a deeper dive into this figure. This is by far my favorite Captain America, Steve Rogers look and outfit. I guess it's safe to assume that this figure is made of dark blue plastic with some red and white covering it, in order to give Steve Rogers his iconic red, white, and blue palette. And I think it's safe to assume as well that there are some brown plastic in here. The belt, the gloves, and the boots is safely to assume that it's brown plastic and painted over for some extra detail. And here, like, the skin tone is painted over the brown, and here are the boots, which I mentioned earlier. And whew, we're getting closer. Whew, whew.
Mr. Rogers, I almost forgot that suit did nothing for your ass. No one asked you to look, Tony.
It's ridiculous.
I think you look great, Cap. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Whew. Coming back to my senses. Where was I? Oh yeah, the silver over the brown, giving him that harness on his back, as well as that iconic star, that silver painted star, which he removed in Infinity War. Now he has it back for posability. His head is on a ball joint, can do a 360, can look up that far and look down this far, and that's barely some movement there. And then his shoulders can go out that far. Unfortunately, the shoulder pad is made of a soft rubbery plastic, which hinders him from going further out, but he can move his arm around, his entire arm around, and then a bicep swivel with a double jointed elbow for more dynamic poses, and then some wrist articulation due to the fact that the wrists are still removable, but unfortunately this guy did not come with some hand accessories, which I don't mind since he didn't need them to begin with. Well, he needed them, but it's not really necessary. And he can crunch and arc, as well as a swivel on the torso part. And here he can go out that far and go back none, I guess, but he can do the splits though, and then a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees, as well as I'd like to call this a boot swivel, since I don't know, I don't think feet can do that. At least he has a pivot, and then some back and forth movement. Yeah. That goes the same for the other arm, and that goes the same for the other leg. It's overall a fun figure to play and pose around. First, let's have a quick comparison with a fellow MCU Captain America. This is the Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War from the 3-pack. This comes with an Iron Man and a Spider-Man figure. Let's have a quick comparison between these two. As you can see, Endgame Cap, such a klutz. Endgame Cap is more of a realistic vibe, while Civil War Cap is Hasbro still trying to capture that realistic look. They didn't fail entirely, but they still wasn't there yet. And what I noticed is that Endgame Cap has the Avengers logo only at the left side of his shoulder, and it's sculpted in, while Civil War Cap has both the Avengers logo both on his shoulders, but it's just painted in. What I like about these two figures, even though I'm comparing two of the same character, they are entirely different. As you can see, there is no retool whatsoever. Even at the boots, even here at the bottom, there is no retool. You can't see any parts of the previous version being there. This is an entirely different mold. And what really gives you off for the Endgame Cap is the scales, which is really a major +1. And here we have the shield, while the Civil War had a more vibrant color with a vibrant red and a vibrant blue covered in the battle damage black. It had the star was almost bulging out, while the Endgame one was more of a red-violet red, and then a muted colors and some more realistic battle damage, as well as that iconic I think bullet damage there, bullet paint chipping if you must, and that's about it. And then at the back we have that silver paint on the Endgame, and then the straps, nothing too special here, just plain silver in their own right. And of course, you wouldn't be worthy Cap without this. Whoever wields this hammer, if he be worthy, shall have the power of Thor. And here it is, Mjolnir in his infinite greatness until Hela breaks him again. And as you can see, there are some detailings here, as well as sculpted details and paint that has been beautifully applied by Hasbro, from the hammer itself to the handle and to the strap. As you can see here, That's not a damage to the figure. I guess it's damage, but every copy had it. It was one of the major gripes with the Mjolnir hammer. And as you can see, here are some, I think, Asgardian engravings. Too small for the naked eye to see, but it's still a nice touch to it. And again, Hasbro keeps giving us this beautiful painting and sculpting on their figures and on their accessories. I hope this is a trend that Hasbro will not let go of. I hope that they do not let go of this exquisite painting and sculpting applications on their figures and accessories. Let's take a look at this alternate head sculpts, these unmasked head sculpts, these Chris Evans head sculpts, supposedly Chris Evans head sculpts. And my oh my, these guys are night and day. The left side is definitely Chris Evans. This doesn't get any more Captain America. This doesn't get as real as it can get. And then here we have at the other side this isn't originally from the 3-pack. This is from the Stealth Suit Captain America, from the Winter Soldier, from the Marvel Legends Captain America, the Winter Soldier line, the Stealth Suit one. I guess even though for quite some time this was Chris Evans, this really had a place on my shelf as the unmasked Chris Evans head sculpt. But now that I have the Endgame, the Worthy Cap unmasked head sculpt, I think it's time to retire this guy. I think it's time that I put him right where I put my spare parts, where I put the spare accessories of toys that I don't play with, because I guess you can consider this as his retirement. But let's take a look at these figures attached to their bodies. You just pop the head off and then apply it as you do with normal Marvel Legends. They're all ball joints, so there won't be a problem. And to the Civil War, okay, this is a little harder to pop in there. Okay, there we have it. And here we have Captain America's without his helmet. These are alternative head sculpts for the character, which are awesome. And can't really. I'm thinking, can we maybe do a head swap? Can we put the Endgame cap on the Civil War cap? Let's see if the ball joints permits it, because there are some Marvel Legends that do not allow other head to be attached due to the fact of having different sizes of ball joints. And wow, this is a perfect fit. I guess I'll keep it like this kind of seems familiar. I know I've seen this before. Just can't remember where, but it's undeniable that it really fits. Fits like a glove, actually. Didn't have any problems with it. It just got in there, but it's tight, so that's a good sign. But it's uncanny. The resemblance is uncanny. Where did I see it?
What's going on? Tell me you found that cube. Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
I have eyes on Loki.
I'm really thinking here, but I can't remember where. I know I've seen it before. It's like a itch I can't scratch. Well, might as well do some size comparisons. Here is with a fellow MCU Captain America from the Civil War 3-pack, as well as here is Iron Man, speaking of Civil War, and might as well add the final piece of the puzzle, Spider-Man, again from the Civil War 3-pack. Actually, fun fact, this is the first appearance of MCU Spider-Man in terms of figure form. He does get a figure from Far From Home, but this is the first MCU Spider-Man figure, and There he goes. He falls down, and 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 what what oh, what? Why won't you stand? Wait, let me adjust his feet so he can stand and adjust his knees a little bit. And there we have it. There he is. He is standing up. And let's move him a little bit here. And some final thoughts of the figure. This is Captain America in his final form. I guess presumably his final form, considering that they ended his arc in Endgame. This is a must-get figure. It's very fun to play and pose around, and his overall physical appeal and visual appeal really captures Steve Rogers in the MCU form. And here he is. I guess if you come across or get a chance to attain this figure, I guess go for it. Yeah, at least in a price that you're willing to pay for him. I'm not gonna force you if you're really not into this figure, but here he is, Endgame Captain America.